Shedeur Sanders just completed his first preseason game against the Chicago Bears. From a film perspective, former player, I'm going to give you guys my take as far as how both quarterbacks matched up against each other and who had the better day, along with the QB tracker. So let's get to it.
That's the top of the breakdown that everyone is currently discussing. You already know that the internet is talking about this movie a lot before we even start watching it.
Once again, as I said before, Cleveland Browns, Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson both just wrapped up their first preseason game.
All right, so people will immediately act as though that interception is the whole story. It's not. As a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, one overthrow during your first live preseason wrap does not prove anything. One of these has been thrown by every rookie who has ever set foot on an NFL field. What follows is what counts. Shedeur didn't sit on his heels after that pick, which is precisely where this game becomes intriguing. The entire reason this video went viral in the first place is because he continued to push the ball down the field. He made a poor pass, but nobody is upset about it. Because he didn't play it safe afterward, people are upset.
Against the Chicago Bears. Now, I'm really focused on Shedeur Sanders, but I'm going to tell you guys how Deshaun Watson did at the end of this video. So let's keep this train rolling. So we're going to go ahead and break this down. This is the interception Shedeur Sanders threw. Just one, you just cannot do if you Shedeur Sanders. Trips formation, you got one receiver, two, tight end, and then you have a receiver up top. I want to say three receivers at the bottom and then one tight end up top. You have a running back in the backfield. Shedeur Sanders going through his pre-snap cadence, and he just overthrew this pass. This is just one you can't do. We can't turn the ball over. I'm gonna show you guys what it looked like from the backside.
He continued to stretch the field as if the error had never occurred. And when the interception is clipped and the video is stopped there, that is the part that no one wants to discuss. After a pick like that, consider how many young quarterbacks shut it down. Instead of going out and taking it, they begin to check it down, play scared, and let the game come to them. This is not the case. The tape depicts a man who had faith in both his arm and his eyes for the upcoming series, which is a mindset rather than a statistic. This is the reason it is spreading in this manner. The way he reacted is more important than the numbers. Everyone is currently reenacting that play. He delivers a strike downfield with a tight spiral despite the offensive line collapsing around him. This is the part of the field that is currently being referred to as fearless. Examine the order. 2 consecutive downfield hits on the next 2 possessions after a pick on one drive. They're both off play action.
But it was a clear just overthrown. So next play we have Shedeur Sanders, as you guys can see in the pocket right now. What I love about Shedeur Sanders is his ability to have tunnel vision, because despite this offensive lineman getting tortured right here, Shedeur Sanders still able to focus inside the pocket, and he hits Luke Floria on an amazing post route. Great throw, great catch. Luke Floria, baby. Hungry dogs right there. They say Shedeur Sanders cannot throw the spiral. Let's take a look at that throw again.
Before the window even opens completely, they both let the ball go because they trusted their eyes. That man isn't acting scared after making a mistake. That's a man who decided he was still going to attack after watching the tape in his head in between drives. And that's precisely the reason this is going viral on the internet. A stat line isn't causing fans to react. They are responding to the mindset. You can look like the guy who doesn't fear anything on tape, even if you go all out. And that's what people are discussing. In contrast, a quarterback would simply take the safe check down on every snap. That is not clipped by anyone. No one puts fire emojis underneath that and stitches it into a highlight reel. After being picked off on the drive earlier, the guy who gets clipped throws into a window that most rookies wouldn't even glance at. This is the tale, and the box score doesn't tell you the whole story.
Look at the spiral, man. Look at that beautiful pass right there. So first play, what we have is what we call an I formation, heavy defensive play. We got a fullback right here, wide receiver, and a wide receiver right here. Shedeur Sanders does a very good job as far as the play action play. So as you guys can see, calls the play action, and he actually already know where he want to go with this football. Look at his eyes already going towards where he want to go with this football, man. This is amazing.
I will therefore give you guys all of Shedeur Sanders' pass plays as soon as we have the complete movie from all 22.
Great way to come back to the football. Gage Larvin, man. Move the sticks. All right, so as we take a look at Deshaun Watson, first half, he had 18 dropbacks. He was 11 of 15, 73%. He threw for 129 passing yards. He had 4 rushing yards. He was 98.2 passer rating. He was sacked once, which led to a fumble. He had 2.75 average time to throw, which is huge. The offensive line definitely blocked for him. And this is the most important part of the difference between him and Shedeur Sanders. His per attempt was 4.4. Now, Shedeur Sanders actually threw the ball a lot further downfield. Watson, as I showed you guys, 11 of 15, 126, 98.2. And Shedeur Sanders, 6 of 11, 79 yards, and 1 interception. He had a 39.6 passing rating. But Shedeur Sanders actually threw the ball downfield.
And in a single clip, that is essentially the entire argument. Watson was cautious and effective. High completion rate, short stuff, and football protection. Sanders lost once when he took the shots downfield. While neither strategy is flawed, only one is currently being clipped and disseminated widely, and it's not the safest. That provides insight into what the fans genuinely hope to see from this quarterback room. A 4-yard checkdown isn't going viral. For a guy who was just picked off and then turned around and threw a strike into a tight window on the very next series, they are going viral. This preseason debut is receiving more attention than a stat line from a first preseason game because that's the stretch play that everyone is talking about.
Downfield. That was the biggest difference. The reason why that rating is like that is because of the interception that I showed you guys earlier. But when it's all said and done, man, it's just one game. So once we get the actual full film from all 22, I will give you guys every single rep from Shedeur Sanders' pass plays. I also will break down Deshaun Watson's pass plays and give you guys the actual film breakdown. We have different angles from broadcast, sideline, and much more, man. So I'm gonna bring all that to you guys during the season. So it's a great way for me to actually start practicing as well. We will see what the head coach Todd Monken has to say. I'm unsure if he's going to speak after the game. I do know he's going to actually speak in a Zoom meeting tomorrow, so I definitely will give you guys that update. Me personally, I think both quarterbacks did fairly well. One quarterback threw short passes, 4 yards here and there. No knock against Deshaun Watson. He took what the defense gave him. As far as Shedeur Sanders go, you guys know he's going to take chances, man. He's not going to sit back and just, let the game come to him. He's going to take risks, and that's just what it comes with. He's very
It's simple to interpret a 39.6 passer rating as a bad story, but it doesn't reflect courage or the players who are really driving the offense down the field. Watson averaged 4 points per attempt. When people only look at the final numbers, they miss the fact that Shedeur was throwing it farther and taking bigger swings. You would assume that Watson won if you just looked at the box score. It's much closer in the real movie, which is why this is still a legitimate competition rather than a formality. As a result, he hardly ever flips the ball over. For crying out loud, we saw the QB tracker as far as training camp, but at the end of the day, it's just football. And that's actually where the entire situation is at the moment. 2 downfield passes, 1 pick, and 1 preseason game generated far more conversation than the box score suggests. With this quarterback competition, that's the split screen.
It comes with, he very rarely turns the ball over. I mean, we saw the QB tracker as far as training camp, for crying out loud, but it happens. It's football at the end of the day. You guys get down in the comments and let me know, how do you guys feel if you watch this video or if you watch the actual game? What are your takes? How do you guys think the difference is as far as Shedeur and Deshaun Watson? Who do you guys think actually won this QB competition? Me personally, I think it's still even. You know what I'm saying? And if it's even, you have to go with Shedeur Sanders because he's the youngest player. But who knows, man? That 1 interception definitely was a big mistake. But we have a lot of more football left to go, so we can't just judge one game off of the entire decision, in my personal opinion. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hype this video, that way YouTube can push it out further to more Browns fans, NFL fans, and of course Shedeur Sanders fans. Mag Dog TV out. Hope you guys have an amazing Saturday. Until next time.
Sanders is the one who stops people from scrolling, while Watson is the steady one. It is possible for both to be true simultaneously. Even if a quarterback protects the ball, he might not be the player that fans are talking about. Additionally, a quarterback may throw a pick and still appear to be the more dangerous player at the end of the first game. The fact that this camp isn't settled is precisely what makes it worthwhile to watch every single week. And it shouldn't be after just one preseason game against the Bears. The preseason is still ongoing. The All-22 movie is still in the works. One head coach hasn't even discussed it in public yet. It would be premature to judge this competition based solely on a single Saturday game. Please share your thoughts in the comments if you're watching the Browns quarterback battle. Who do you think will prevail? To ensure you don't miss the next breakdown, hit the like and subscribe buttons.